simulation, reverse and replay. It's like how to do what if sort of like analysis on AA accounts. I will elaborate more tomorrow on the simulation. Okay, so with this, you've already received the training materials. So whatever I'm going to show you today, you already have it. Now, the way it works is I will be going through the training material using PowerPoint like this. Sorry. So it's like, sorry, I'm showing you like this.
Hello, Matt. Sorry for the interruption. Some of our audience, they are connecting Zoom from other location. Would you be so kind to accept our invitation?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. Because they try to reaching us to accept you. So please help us to accept it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I missed it. Yeah, it's okay. I missed it. They're in now. Yeah.
And also, sorry for the interruption. One more thing. Maybe during the discussion, maybe we can have some kind of summary as well. Internally, to make sure our
just
audience.
some sort of. Just
can you hear?
Yeah, just repeat. Can you repeat that last bit? I didn't get the last part. Just repeat what you said.
Yeah, the last bit was maybe during the discussion, maybe we can have some little bit of internal discussion as well to make sure our participants able to catch up with you. Maybe we will try to do some internal kind of quick discussion as well to make sure they can able to understand the concept, what you're trying to share with us. Okay?
Okay, no problem. So
if you don't, you go back to your notepad, which you showed into the screen few minutes ago. To make sure I will inform to my participants because the audio quite a little bit not clear. So I will try to convey them again. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, the first one, right? So this one is the today's agenda from here.
This is today's. Yeah. This is
today's
from
here to here. Okay, it's a half-day agenda. So Mac will help us to show the overview of the AA. AA it's called Arrangement Architecture. It's a new concept in T24. Of course, it's available maybe 5 years ago. So almost the OCB trying to utilize during part of the T24 for banking upgrade project. So in this session, Mac will try to describe the features which is available in the retail accounts, the first thing. And the second thing, AA product origination structure, because the AA has the different structures as well. We have a lot of parameters, a lot of configuration. So he will show what is the structures of the AA which is available compared with the legacy model. And the third one, the business component approach in order to build the product. So AA also adapt for us to build the products. Example, you have different products, so you can build. It's a one kind of product, one way. It's for the product building. And the difference between the products and arrangements and the create and authorize the retail account arrangement is the kind of maybe the end user how to create and authorize the deal. And the last one is the AA arrangement overview using the inquiries. So whatever you created, you can drill down by the T24 inquiry. So if not clear, you can very well to raise it to me or anyone in this group as well as the Matters. Okay, so he will help us to answer your concerns. So feel free to utilize the session. We have a half day. Okay, so we put a lot of effort to show AA for all the business. So make it useful. Okay? So if something not clear or you cannot clarify, you can note it, and we will help to discuss with the diagnostic via email. Our next day session also, Matt will join again, so we can clarify again. Okay. Sorry for the interruption, Matt. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I was just showing you the slides, how it looked like, right? So this PowerPoint is what I'm using to go through the different topics that we're going to cover. You already have it in PDF format.
Matt, can you do the slideshow? Yeah, because it's quite small.
Yeah, it will look like this.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So the speaker notes and everything, you have it already in your document that I shared with you. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, so occasionally there'll be like a workshop where we will go through, we'll do some practical in Transact. You would have already received some credentials to connect to the VDI. Some of you who are lucky, I think we only have 12 connections. So the lucky ones, you already have it. Hopefully you are able to connect. When you connect, please, what you'll see is a login screen like this as soon as you land in. So the username and passwords, you also have it on that credentials that was shared right here. So once you're connected, to get into T24, this is this URL inside now, inside, and username and password. I'm talking about this URL here, right? And the username and password. And then you just click login. This will take you into T24. But we'll need this later. We first want to just understand the basics before we actually need to start using this. Okay, so slowly, we'll get into it. Okay, 2. Then next one, right, I need to know, maybe Lex, you can give me this intro. Just like high level, the people that are on the call who are having access to the system, what kind of profile do they already know T24 and it's only AA that is new, or what is the actual situation, right? And then what is your expectations, please, if you may. Hello? Lex?
Yeah, you waiting for our response?
Yeah, I just need one of you who is maybe the representative of that group, just to tell me what is the general background of the participants who are connected, like the ones that are working in the system. Do they already know T24 but are new to AA only, or what is the actual, scenario? And then what are your expectations? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. So far as the OCB, the situation here, so we are in R13 release, and we are using all the legacy modules, which is retail account lending and the deposit as well, AAC, LD, and AZ. This is the current scenario.
Okay.
We are targeting to upgrade R13 to R20 release by the project will be kicked off by this month and will be the go live by next year. So along with the project, we would like to implement the AA, the products which is called AA lending, deposit, as well as the account. The deposit
Retail account.
Yeah, retail accounts as well. So so we are new to the AA modules. So we would like to understand the clear picture and how it will be overcome the current legacy systems, and we will try to utilize more and more, and we will play with the AA the modules.
Okay, got you. Very clear. Thank you. That makes it clear for me. Now I know what I need to do and who I'm dealing with. Okay, great. So I will now start the actual training session, right? Please be relaxed, okay? You will see like the style that I'm going to be using. I try to make it like light. Just be relaxed. No need to like get anxious, or especially when we start doing the workshops. I will take it very slow. I will show it even once, twice, 3 times, no problem. Yeah, as long as you understand the concept by the end. That's what is important. We'll take it easy. Okay, so we are now starting lesson 1 on retail accounts. Okay, so in lesson 1, we're just doing like an overview of this particular half-day course, like what are we going to look at and so on, and then AA retail account overview. Like we're trying to see maybe what are some of the differences between AA retail accounts and AC accounts that you're using today. Okay. So the features of arrangement architecture we'll describe. Then we're going to look at the product organization structure for AA. Then we'll look at business component approach. So this business component approach is one of the main features of AA. Like, why is it different from, let's say, LD or AZ or, you know, AC accounts? And why are we recommending that customers move from the legacy module to AA? So in this part, I will try to highlight and to give you the differences and to explain why this business component approach is very important. Next one, we will look at differences between products and arrangements. So products like staff current account, personal current account, right? Student savings account, whatever you want to call it, products, and then the actual arrangements that we are opening under that. So the contracts, when we book it under AA, we call it an arrangement. To put it simple, like a current account is an arrangement. A savings account is an arrangement. A 30-day term deposit, it's an arrangement, right? The actual contract between the bank and the customer, that is the arrangement. So we'll also see how to create the arrangement, how to authorize the arrangement. You'll see the steps for creating the arrangement account is a bit different from how you create an AC current account today. You know, today when you are creating, we have like an accounts menu maybe where you go. It's very different when we're creating the arrangement account. So we'll see how to do this, how to authorize it. And then some of the standard inquiries that we need to learn about. So it's a half day course, 4 hours. Okay, now, one of the first things that you need to take away is for our lending, loans, fixed deposits, retail accounts, right? We are now going to be using arrangement architecture. Now, the main difference between arrangement architecture and the legacy contract modules, right, is that in arrangement architecture, when we open an arrangement, there will be an underlying account that's going to be created where the balance of the arrangement is going to be kept. So to put it in a simple way, if you open a current account arrangement, there will actually be an account that's going to be created in the background. This account is going to be sitting on the accounts table. When I mean accounts table, the same table where your accounts are created today, there will be the arrangement account will be created there. Automatically, it will happen. When you create a loan, this loan balance, it will be sitting in an account. So as you authorize the loan arrangement, it will create an account. When you create a fixed deposit, it will create an account, the arrangement, right? So the main difference is our loan and our deposit, it is now account-based. Account-based meaning customer can come or using internet or ATM, whatever, and directly deposit money into his loan, and it will impact the loan balance. Unlike today, you have LD or AZ, maybe you need to put it into the liquidation account, right? Or the drawdown account. And then from there, someone needs to do something manually, right, in the system to process that repayment if it's not a scheduled repayment. So this concept in AA, it's no longer like a restriction. So a customer can pay his loan even in advance, and the system will automatically process it and do some kind of adjustments. Like how it will happen, we will cover it slowly as we, okay, so these are some of the main differences. The other main difference is today, when we are creating our loan, right? Maybe we use AZ or we use LD, but when we create account, we use AC module, you know, for the overdue, maybe for the LD, is using PD module, past due. Can you see? So this means that like there's a bunch of modules that we are using for our different products. Okay, now this makes it a bit difficult for someone, let's say in the bank, who is tasked with creating products, because it means now this person needs to know AC module and all those parameter tables that go with AC, right? Condition priority, group debit interest, group credit interest, all those things you need to be aware of. Then when you are creating loans in LD, you need to know all of the parameter tables for LD, LMM, install conditions, LD, TXN, whatever. So it's like it becomes difficult to actually create products because you need to have a lot of different knowledge in all the different modules. In AA, the product builder that we use for building product and the components that we use for building the products, it is the same product builder for all of the AA products. So to put it in a simple way, if you know how to create an account product, like a current account product in AA, it uses exactly the same methodology to create lending products, to create deposit products. So you learn it once and then you're okay, you have it. Slowly, slowly I'll come. Right, so on our accounts, it is simple. In arrangement architecture, just like in AC accounts, our accounts can have credit balances, they can have debit balances, it can be overdrawn. We can attach limits to the account if you allow overdrafts, right? So with this, we can also have the associated debit interest, credit interest, and so on. We can generate statements. If you need like passbooks, if you're still using, we can also attach passbooks. We can issue checks. We can also close the account at some point where, let's say the customer doesn't want to use the account anymore, or the account has become dormant, inactive, we want to close. The same way we are going to do, but the menu pointers that we're going to use, this is what's going to be different. All right.
So Mark, I have so this the picture which is showing here the screen, which is the current legacy model, or is this the AA the architecture?
It applies to both, even the current legacy module in AA. All these features that you're seeing here, right? They are there in the current legacy module and in AA. But the way in which they are presented or the way in which they work is a bit different, because when we are setting up our product now in AA for like current account and so on, we don't have to use any of those tables, you know, like condition priority, group debit interest, group credit. We don't use any of those tables. We're only using AA applications and AA tables. Okay, we will get this slowly. We have to start slowly, but we are coming to that. Right. So here, there's nothing much on this slide. Don't worry so much about this slide. The real stuff is coming now. Okay. So this is right. That was just the first, actually one slide. Nothing is there. It's starting here. The main thing. So arrangement architecture basics. Right. Now here, we are now going to start from the beginning. Okay, so what is AA, this business component approach, products and arrangements. Okay, let's see. Right, so with AA, one way to think about it is, it's like a framework for flexible product building using reusable components. So Temenos will give you like a set of components with which you can create products. So Temenos will give you a set of components with which the bank can create their own products. So the way it works is within Transact or within T24, Temenos will release what are known as product lines under arrangement architecture. So there are product lines under arrangement architecture. So you can see here on the right-hand side, right? I'm not sure if you can read that depending on the resolution. These are product lines, right? Now, the product lines are released by Temenos. And these product lines are normally, they are licensed. Licensed in the sense that if the bank does not, let's say, want to use, for example, relationship pricing or rewards, for instance, or safe deposit box, then you don't buy the license. You just license what you actually need, right? But the point to remember is all of these that you're seeing here, they are product lines in arrangement architecture. They are used for some sort of business processing. Okay, so in our training, we are focusing on AA accounts. And then for some of you, there'll be also AA deposits and AA loans. Those are the three that we're focusing on. But the good news is the way that we make products or create products is exactly the same for all of these product lines. So once you understand the concept, it's very easy to apply. Right, so in the product line, because it is released by Temenos, it's like it is made up of reusable components, the business components that apply to that product line. You cannot amend the product line except for the description, right? I will repeat. You cannot amend the product line except for the description, because the product line, it's the one that has the components that apply for that line of business. Like there's a product line lending, which will have lending components. There's a product line accounts, which will have account components. Okay, so.
Okay, hang on. Just go back to the previous screen to make sure our participant understood well. Yeah, so from our understanding, the product line which you mentioned here, it's we can try to mind mapping with our current system R13. We have the list of legacy modules. So here you say this is the product line. Example, accounts and deposit, lending. It's a product line in our current release R13. In R20 also, you will say this is the product line. So AC is accounts. In your screen, you mentioned accounts. It's a AC, it's a one product line for OCB, and the deposit is a one product line for OCB. Lending is a loan and deposit is a one product line. So similar way, what are the models OCB using? It will consider as a product line in AA. Is it right?
Partly. Let me explain. It's not like a direct mapping like that, because AA is a completely standalone product line. So in other words, in your legacy system in R13, let's say you've got AZ that you're using for maybe deposits or even loans, right? And then you also have LD, right? There's no direct mapping from that AZ and LD into AA. In AA, it's a brand new module that you're going to be implementing. So you can think of it as like we have to do all of the lending products set up from scratch in AA. We cannot map it directly and say we've got this AZ and we're putting it. No. We're going to create from scratch your products during the implementation in AA. And then when you decide to, how do I put it, during the upgrade, when you upgrade, you have a choice in terms of, for the existing loans that are open today in R13, do you want to migrate them to AA, right? Or do you want to keep them running until they mature and only the new loans will open in AA? You got what I'm saying, right? So you close, let's say, existing LDs and open them in AA, or you keep existing LD loans that are already running, you keep it running until it matures in LD. But side by side, any new loans that we're giving to customer, we give it in AA. I hope that is clear.
Okay, so I got your point. So currently OCB had the license, which you mentioned, the license. We are using the AA lending. We got the license for lending and deposit account. So these three things we can consider. It's a product lines in arrangement architecture for OCB when we upgrade our tools. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, and so those things can be reusable depending on the business the requirement. So made up of
Yeah. So this reusable components, it will become clear just now, right? Don't worry. I'm gonna dive a bit deeper into it.
It could be cross-functional as well, right?
Yes, it's cross-functional, exactly. So let me show you now in the system. For now, you can just watch. No need for you. If you want to navigate with me in the system, no problem. But otherwise, it's more important for you to understand the concept than to actually understand how to do it at this stage. Very important. Understand the concept, how to do it. It will come with practice. Don't worry about that. Okay, now I want to show you what a product line looks like and what are these reusable components that we're talking about. When I mentioned to say a product line is released by Temenos made up of reusable components. So I'll click here. Right now, to view the reusable components or the product lines, I have to go to the admin menu because building products is an admin function. It's an administrator function. It's not like an end user function. You know, opening the loan is an end user function, but building admin. So under admin, if you go to product builder, so it's admin menu, product builder, right? And then under the product builder, classic product builder, right? Now under this, there are some options like products, properties, product conditions, additional settings, okay? Let's click on products. So when you click on products, it will show the product lines. The product lines is coming now. So that diagram that was in the slide, it is basically what you're going to see just now. Okay, the system, it might be a bit slow, but it will speed up as we're going because we just started it. It will start to speed up. Right now, you can see here the product lines, which is released by Temenos. And these product lines, if I click on the view, so that little icon that's got like the glasses, I don't know, yeah, that's to see. I just want to view. I don't want to edit or anything like that. I just view. So what will happen is it will open this particular product line somewhere below. And then I can be able to show you what it actually looks like. It will speed up as the more we use, it will start to speed up. Right now, because I just booted it up, it's a bit slow, but it will come. It will come right. As you're navigating more and more, it starts to, the response time gets better. But initially like this, it will take a bit of time.
The server very slow.
Yes, yeah, it's very slow, but it will speed up. Right now, this is it will open below. So when you click here, right, it will not open it here on this side. It will open it below. So you need to scroll down and then you'll see the accounts product line. Now, this accounts product line, when I say it is made up of reusable components, we see those reusable components on property class. The reusable components are called property classes in AA terminology. So when I click on property classes, you'll see there's a bunch of reusable components. So like account, accounting, activity messaging, charge, interest, customer. Can you see? I keep on going. Closure, balance maintenance, change product, tax, and so on, right? There's more than, probably more than 25, 28, 30, somewhere there, the total number of those components. Now, the way these components work is, if you think of a account product, deposit product, lending product, right? All those three are going to have an account created it, associated. All those three have got accounting entries, but to put it in a simpler way, all those three, they calculate some type of interest. It could be interest payable, it could be interest receivable. It depends on what type of product. Is it an asset product? Is it a liability product? But there's interest calculation, accruing, capitalizing, and so on. All of them, okay, not all, some, like account and loan, can have a limit. Deposit will not have limit. You know why, right? We've got charges, we've got tax, and so on. Now, the difference between this interest, okay, where is it? Interest. Between this interest component and the interest that we are using today in our legacy product, right, is that in the AZ module, Temenos had to like code a separate section for the AZ to be able to calculate the interest. Then we had to code a separate piece of code for AC accounts to calculate interest. We had to do a separate piece of code for LD to be able to do interest calculation. But at the end of the day, interest calculation is interest calculation. It's the same thing. To simplify, we create, how do I say it? We looked at all of those, let's say, modules, right? And then we broke them up into individual business components. So business component is just a component that has some business logic. So this interest component was one which we took out. Okay, so right, we're just going to write one piece of code that will do interest component. For accounts, for deposits, for lending, we don't care, but we're just writing one component, we keep it here, right? We're going to write one component that will do charges. Charges are charges. We don't care whether it's for lending, whether it's for deposits, whether it's for accounts, it's charges. So we took out this component, we create as one piece of code. Okay, now, very important. Some components can be used across product lines. What do I mean? The same interest I can use in lending products, I can use in deposit product, I can use in account product, because how do I say it? The business rules allow, okay? Some components can only be used in some product lines. I'll give you an example. So this product line that we're looking at today is account. Now in account, when you open it, right, it does not have like a fixed term, like loan or a deposit. You know, like a loan, it has a term. It's for 24 months, it's for 25 years, mortgage, whatever it is. There's a term tied to it. Similar with your deposit, fixed deposit, there's a term. It's a 30-day deposit, 90-day deposit, like this. So there's a component, okay? So one of these components, it's called term dot amount. Now this term dot amount, it's used to record the term, which is not a, how do I say, it's not a valid concept for an account. When you open your current account, it just runs forever until you decide to close it. But the loan, that's different. It's a loan for 24 months. It's a loan for 5 years. So this term amount component it is one of the components which is part of the lending product line. It's one of the components which is part of the deposit product line, but it's not part of account product line. Okay, so now you understand. Some components, it applies to some product lines. Some components, it applies to one or more. It's the same component, we can use it across. Then, in your product line, when you look at it, very important concept now, for each component, right? For each component, Temenos will tell us if this component is mandatory or optional. You see what I mean? Because there are some components that you cannot leave out when you're now making your own product. Because the whole idea behind this is what you must try to take away is we are giving you these components for the sole purpose so that you can use them to make your own products. So if I am creating now, say for example, like a current account product, right? Or two current account products. One is a staff current account product and one is a personal current account product. Okay, so those two. Now, for both of them, when I'm creating those products, I am going to use some of these components here. Okay, now, what determines which ones I must use and which one I must leave for which product? The first consideration is any component that is mandatory. Any component that is mandatory has to be in all of your products. So if I have a staff current account, I have a personal current account. I have to put this account component in both of them. I have to put this accounting component in both of them. Activity messaging is optional. Can you see it's no? So activity messaging, I can decide I want to keep it in personal current account, but I don't want it in staff current account. Okay, let me give you an example that's easier for you to understand. This one, we all know what is charges. So this is a simple example. Now I have two products I'm trying to create. One is staff current account, one is personal current account. Personal current account, it's for individuals, non-staff. This is how the bank makes its income. So this charge component, I'll put it in because I want to recover charges on personal current account. But for the staff current account product, because it's my OCB staff members, I don't want to collect charges. So this component, I can leave it out completely from the staff current account product. Think of these components as building blocks that I use to build my product. Simple. That is it. Now, I'm going out of this, right? I just want to look at another one, like lending. So lending, just for completeness, we're not looking at lending today, but because I'm touching on these components, I want to talk about. So I go to property classes. This is where I see my components. Right now you can see, again, the same component was there in account product line. The same component was there in account product line. Can you see? Charge. Yes. Interest. Yes. Overdue. Right. Now, this is another thing. In LDAZ, overdue is in PD module. It's a separate module. In AA, the AA module will take care of the overdue. No need for a separate module. There's just a component we are using to manage this one when the loan becomes in arrears. Okay, fine. So we also have here.
Hang on, Mac. Let me check internally.
Please, yeah, please go ahead.
You check the audience; they can understand. the product line and the property.
What class? Yeah. Yeah. Now you can explain.
Just hold on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cái phần này Max nãy giờ là nói về cái AI account thì nó theo cái kiến trúc component đó, thì cái phần product line á, là có nhiều cái product line là cái sản phẩm mà nó sẽ là setup sẵn như là account rồi visit rồi vending. Thì riêng về cái account thì nó sẽ có nhiều cái component, thì trong đó là cái property class này nè, nó sẽ có có nhiều cái tính năng của cái sản phẩm mà họ sẽ setup trong đây. Thì ví dụ như là cái account thì sẽ có phần account và có một cái cột mandatory là làm setup bắt buộc hay là không bắt buộc, và accounting là cái tính năng về cái toán, rồi cái như là activity chart như là thu phí, rồi shopping access. Có những cái tính năng nào thì họ sẽ khai báo sẵn đây để sử dụng trong này nè. Dòng sản phẩm cha, tức là có sẵn rồi thì nó sẽ đốt sẵn rồi, mình muốn xài cái nào thì trả lại xanh mình sẽ mua. Dạ. Thì ví dụ như là trong cái product line này, cái tài khoản á, là cái product line là account. Trong cái account này có nhiều cái product group. Mỗi cái product group ví dụ như là tài khoản điện thanh toán, tài khoản tiền gửi tiết kiệm, tài khoản thu chi, tài khoản gì đó, thì mình sẽ chia ra nhiều cái product group trong đó. Mỗi cái product group có thể là có một cái sản phẩm trong đó. Thì cái sản phẩm mà đến cái hàng cuối cùng là sản phẩm nằm trong cái product group. Thì cái này là bạn đang giới thiệu qua những cái property class. Còn chi tiết hơn ngày nay mình sẽ bây giờ là chỉ là mới có tổng quan thôi.
Okay. Yeah. So Max, so please correct me if I am wrong. Yeah. So from for simple example, so let me clarify internally with the explanation. So we can consider it's a product line, the final the delivery of the pizza. Example, I have the Supreme Deluxe Pizza is a product line, but the property class, I use the toppings and the maybe bacon and the cheese, everything is the property class. Is it right? So I can use whenever I need another pizza, I can take the bread and I can use all the other toppings. So the final product will be the product line. So different kind of pizza. You got it?
Okay, so we have to be careful. Yeah, you are right. The concept, the way you are describing is right. Because think of this as like this product line, right? We call it pizza. Now, pizza is like a type of food, right? It's a type of food. Yeah. So this type of food, pizza, there are certain ingredients that we use, like cheese, flour, I don't know, salt, maybe, and then the toppings, different type of toppings, okay? Now, okay, let's back up. We also have a food called, let's say, bread. So bread is not pizza, right? It's called bread. Bread, it uses some of the same ingredients as pizza, but bread is a different product. You see it? Okay, let me, I'm going to show you something from a different course to clarify this point so that we are understanding it better. Now, these slides I'm showing you now is from the advanced course, but it's simply there for me to clarify the concept. So, it will be better if I do this.
Anh đang cho nói với Max về cái phần chương trình AI á, tức là AI cái điểm hay của nó là nó khác cái phần những cái AC cũ á, là tức là nó theo nó hướng component, tức là có những cấu phần nó gắn phần ráp nhau mình xài thôi. Còn cái
let me try. Yeah, let me try.
Yeah, sorry for the internal discussion, but yeah. Hold on a second.
Nó giống như mình có một cái bánh pizza là cái gốc của product line là một cái bánh pizza bánh mì không á, cái bánh không thì mình muốn sử dụng cái ăn thêm cái phần nào thì lấy cái phần đó mình bỏ lên cái pizza của mình thì nó sẽ thành cái sản phẩm cuối cùng như ý như là
Yeah. Can I go?
set up.
Hello?
Okay, Max, can I?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, with your example.
Okay. Okay, very good. Now, I want you to think of the same example that we were discussing, pizza. Pizza is a product line, okay? But when the customer is coming to the shop to order the pizza, right, he'll not come and say, I want pizza. He'll come and say, I want a medium margarita, or I don't know whatever type of pizza. I want a medium Hawaiian. I want a large pepperoni, like this. So the product is the final, how do I say, the final type of pizza which the customer will order. This is okay, right?
Yes.
But pizza in general is a product line. If you think of it like BMW, it's a company. So BMW, they've got different product line. So BMW, they make like motorbike, right? BMW, they make trucks like big trucks. BMW make cars. Okay, now all those motorbike, truck, car, it's a product line for BMW. Now we will focus on cars to understand what are the different, let's say, components that make it up. So under the cars, right, if you look at BMW, they will have something known as like distinct product groups. So these are like cars that form part of a similar group. Like, for example, they've got this naming that they use, like it's a 1 series, it's a 3 series, right? It's a 5 series, it's an X series, like X3, X5, it's a Z series. These are groups, right? Now, under each group, what they'll do is using some sort of reusable components, they'll create what are known as product variations or product derivatives. For example, under the 1 series, right, they will have like a 3-door version, so the body of the car, 3-door, the other one is 5-door, the other one is a coupe. Then using a few, let's say, types of engines. So they might have like 1 2-liter engine in diesel and petrol. They'll have a 2.5-liter engine, diesel and petrol. They have a, I don't know, 5-liter diesel and petrol, okay? They also have like the gearbox. It's automatic, it's manual. Now what they're doing is using those few reusable components, BMW is able to come up with very different products based on customer demand. Because in this 3-door, let's say 1 series, right? We can have like a 1.2, right? The engine size like 1.2, that's one. We can have like a 1.5. It's another separate type of car. We can have a 2.5, okay? And so on. Now what's happening is by changing around the components like the gearbox, we make it manual or we make it automatic. We change the size of the wheels. You know, the front ones, maybe we keep it a bit smaller, and the rear ones, we make it a bit bigger. So it looks like, you know, those low profile, it looks like the car is like leaning forward. Some people like that. So we are able to come up with a wide range of derivatives based on customers' need, because some people, they want to spend less on the car. But some people will say, I want full house. Give me air condition, leather seats, the whole deal. I want it. So BMW can do this because of the reusable components which they are using to make their cars. Okay, now, if you look at product, let's now look at product like a lending account. Okay. Banks also want the same type of flexibility when they are building their products. So if we now replace the cars product line with lending, right? What we are doing is under the lending, we'll create distinct groups of lending products. These are like similar type of loans. So there'll be like a mortgages group, home loans group, right? Personal loans group, staff loans group, whatever you want to call it. This is up to the bank what sort of groups they're creating. These are just similar, let's say, products with similar features, high-level grouping. A product group cannot be sold to a customer. It's just a logical grouping internally that OCB will do. Okay, now, under the mortgage, what they're doing is using the reusable components that Temenos supplied, right? Like, for example, there's a component called term. Okay, so in this 3-year mortgage, we'll make this component to be 3 years. But in the 5-year, the same term component will make it 5 years or 10 years, 25 years. Then here, I can decide I want it fixed interest in this one. But in this one, I want floating interest at the product. So it's the same reusable component, which I'm switching it out. In some, I'll include charges, others I'll include tax, but I can create any of these products here using a small set of reusable components. This is why this arrangement architecture is very powerful, because I'm just mixing and matching and switching and changing those components. It's like your pizza, which the customer is ordering, right? When he orders it, he can say, okay, give me a Hawaiian, but at the time of ordering, you'll say something like, I want it with extra cheese. I want it with extra cheese. It's simple for the pizza shop to do because they have the components already. That's how this AA will work. Some products will put some components and other products will leave it out. It depends on the features that we're looking for in that product. I don't know if that makes it more clear now. Maybe with this example. Lex, is it better now?
Yeah, thank you so much for the explanation. I think it's answer our concern.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I'll go back to now.
Clear?
Yeah, it's not clear. Please let me know.
Yeah, I'm trying to check internally. Is it clear? Product.
Okay, go ahead.
Product line, product group, and product. Just consider product line is our module, account, lending, deposit, everything. And inside, whatever we reuse the component, charge, interest, say in bill, so you can pick up and use it for the product line. It's a cross-functional. But currently we used to develop everything. But if we go back to the AA, so they have the predefined component. You can pick up and use it for the account. You can pick up and use it for the lending. You can pick up and use it for the deposit. That's it. So that's why he said property class is the reusable business component.
Yeah.
And the product line, which is the base one, accounts, lending and deposit. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Mac. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Right, now, guys, for this to be easier to understand, right? I want you, for now, just forget about LD and forget about AZ completely. Like, don't even think about it, because if you are trying to compare to see, oh, what is the difference with LD and AA, it will be more difficult to actually understand. So just open your mind and just forget about LD and think of this as like a brand new concept that we're trying to learn. Once you understand this concept, then you can start to compare, but not right now. I don't want you to even compare it with LD. Just forget about LD, not important right now. So product organization, next level, under the AA hierarchy, we call it the product hierarchy. In AA, we have 3 levels only. So there's 3 levels of hierarchy. One, I'm going back, product line. So this is the first level in the AA structure. Okay. So product line is created by Temenos. It's made up of property classes, reusable components. Next, the next layer in the product hierarchy is product group. Product group is created by customers like yourself, like OCB can decide to create their own product groups under a product line. So for example, we have accounts product line. We can decide to create one of our product groups as current account product group. We can also have savings account product group. You got it. It's up to the bank basically to create the product group. Now, what goes in to a product group? That's the question. Like when we're creating it, what goes into the product group? I will explain now what goes into this product group. So if you see in Transact, this is a product line lending. Now this lending product line, I can see all of the components here. Some are mandatory, some are optional, you can see. So if I want to create a product group, this is something the bank can do by themselves. What I will do is, under this accounts here, I will do new product group, but I don't want to create one. I just want to show you an existing one, and then I'll explain. So this arrow, it will show me existing product group. Let me just, this column here. If I click on this arrow, it will show me existing product groups under accounts, which is part of Model Bank. Let's say sample, let's call them sample product groups that we use for training. Right now, you can see I have all these product group here. So I've got like one group called current accounts, one group home savings accounts, limit accounts, yeah, summary accounts. These are all different types of account products. Now, what is important for us to understand right now is what goes into this. If I open like current account group, please remember this is a group. When you open the group, what you'll see is, give it a few, it will open. Right now, you'll see inside that product group, right? It's the same property classes that we spoke about earlier on. Now you need to think of this like this. Product line has got all of the components which Temenos allow us to use for, let's say for this product line. So let's say in account product line, maybe 30 components. Temenos say, okay, here you go, you can use. Now when we create our product group, as a bank, we will pick the components that we need to use in this product group to give it the features that we're looking for, So simple example, if I want the products that are going to be created out of this group to have charges, I want the products that will be created out of this group to have charges, I must include the charge component. Okay, I must include the charge component. Okay, so this is one. Two, in the product group, right? You remember, in the product line. In the product line, when we were looking at the components, you saw that some were mandatory and some were optional. So when the bank create any product group, all of the mandatory property class must be included in all of the groups that you're creating because the component is mandatory. It means a product cannot function without this component. So how do you know? Just go to the product line, you'll see which ones are mandatory, which ones are optional. The mandatory one, you don't have a choice, you have to put it in. If you don't put it in, system will throw an error when you try to publish the product. I will explain about this concept a little bit later. So all the mandatory ones you must put. The optional one, you can put the ones that you need to keep the features that you're looking for. Like if you want charges, put the charges, right? If you want, what is it? Tax, like you want to calculate tax, put the tax component. If you don't need to calculate tax, leave it out. No issue, because it's optional. This is the point, okay? So that is what goes into the product group. There's a little bit more before I hand it back to you, Lex. A little bit more. Now, you know, when you are saying charge, right? Charge, for an account, we want to collect different type of charge, isn't it? It's not just one type. So the way it works in AA is this component here, which is called property class. Temenos will give you. You can make a named copy. You can make a named copy of the property class. So I'll just copy this and paste it into a new name, which I call, let's say, highest debit. It's like it's an instance of this component. It's just a copy and paste, and I give a name. Because I want to have a different type of calculation for this charge, a different type of calculation for this charge, and so on. I can copy and paste for as many charges as I need in my product. It's up to me. So it's very flexible. Just copy and paste and put, so inside you'll mention what is the type of calculation. Is it a flat amount, percentage, minimum, maximum, all those nice things again. Is it based on transaction count? What exactly? Can you see? But it's all copy and paste, and then you make some changes in there. This is a bit more advanced now, but anyway, I hope you are able to follow what I'm saying. Yeah. So in the group, you keep your property class, all of the mandatory ones, and some of the optional ones. Now, for each property class, right, when you put it in a product group, you'll create a named copy. You'll create a named copy of the property class. So this balance is actually an account property class. They just called it balance. It is called a property. This is a bit more advanced now, but it's an important concept to understand. It's a property. It's a named copy of a property class. So let's keep it simple. Is it okay so far?
Yeah, so far it's fine. Should we need to clarify anything?
Yeah. You want to, or can I continue? All right. I'll continue. Yeah. And then maybe later on you can summarize it. So I'll repeat again. Our AE products have got three layers. Product line, what you're seeing here, released by Temenos. Product line is released by Temenos. You cannot create this one. Product group, bank will create. You group your products according to the logical groupings that you want to have at OCB. Nice. Then in the product group, all the mandatory property class and some optional ones, I'll keep it. Enough. Next one is the product. That's the third and final level. The product is what I sell to my customer at OCB. So when customer walks in, he wants a student current account. He wants an SME current account, right? He wants a corporate current account. This is a product. Now what we are doing is in the product, okay? Remember now, here, Temenos give you 30 components, property class. So out of these 30, maybe the bank decide, okay, you know what, for current account groups, we only want, out of the 30 that are here, we only need 20 of them, 20. So we'll bring down 20 property class here. Now, out of the 20 property class that I bring here, right? Let's say here in the product line, there are 30. 10 is mandatory. Only 10 is mandatory. The other 20 optional. Okay, please stay with me. Now, when I create this product group, the 10 which are mandatory here, I don't have a choice. I must put it here, 10 mandatory ones. Then out of the 20 optional one remaining, I take another 10, I put it here. So I'm having 10 mandatory plus 10 optional here in the product group. Okay, now, this product group is just the logical grouping, like a high-level collection, that's it. I cannot sell a group to a customer. I can only sell product to a customer, so the product is here. Now, in this product, what I'm doing is I can only use the 20 components which are here in the group. So here there are 30 components here, right? But in this group, I only put 20. So any product that I create under this group, it can only have a maximum of those 20 that are here. You got the point, right? So the 10 which are mandatory, I must bring it down. The 10, I must bring it down here. And the 10, I must also, because they are mandatory. But the other 10 which are optional here, I can decide for this product, I only want the 10 mandatory plus 2 optional ones. I want the 10 mandatory plus 2 optional ones. Here, I only want the 10 mandatory, only. I don't want any of the optional ones. You see what I'm doing? So that's how that product will work. Okay, just one more point, and then I'll hand it over. Now, in the product, what you'll do is each of the components, like this interest, this charge, and so on, when you put it here, right, it has got like a field where you can mention some values. I'll explain. So if I put like a credit interest component here, credit interest, right, I can mention, so in the component, there'll be some fields that's like rate, type, you know, and so on. So inside my product, right, I have to mention what is my, let's say, what is my rate for staff loan? What is my rate type? Is it like a fixed or a floating type of interest rate that I'm doing? Right now, this assigning of values to the fields, we call it putting product conditions into the product. These product conditions is what makes this product different from this product. Okay, let me bring it down. A simple example. If I take exactly the same components, 10 mandatory, and I keep it here, and exactly the same 10 components, I keep it here. Okay, now, what would differentiate this product from this product, right, is the values that you're putting on product conditions. Because in this product, the interest rate is 1.5, but in this product, the interest rate is 3%. That's how these two are different, but they are using exactly the same components. That's how it works with AA.
So we assume we try to compare with the legacy module. So with this layer architecture, so we have the accounts product line, let us see we have the accounts product line, and then it goes to the current account product group. So if I compare with this the second layer into the legacy model, can it assume it's similar with the category?
No.
The current product group.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not.
It's not category.
Yeah, it's not category. It's not. Yeah, because category, how do I put it? It will actually come here at this level. This is a start current account, so there's something that distinguishes this. So one of the distinguishers is the category here, and here also. I can remember at the end of it, right? When you create an arrangement here, it will create an account in the account table. Now, if I want this account that I'm creating here, I can put a different category code and a different category code here. Here, on the attributes or the fields, there's no category code mentioned here at all, because this would restrict. The category code is only here and here. And similar, the interest rate is only here and here, but there's no interest rate mentioned here. Otherwise, it will restrict me from having a different rate here and here. If I put a category.
So one product group can share multiple categories of products.
Very good. One product group can share multiple categories of products. Similar concept, one product group can share different interest rates in the products, different charges in the products, same thing. We're talking about the same thing. Or it's just one of the fields that we are changing in the product, but only in the product, not in the group.
So all these steps could be configurable. You don't need to develop anything, is it?
You don't need to develop anything. That's the nice thing about AA. Because it's component based, right? It's almost like we give you like a bucket with all the components, right? Then, depending on what features you are looking for in this product, you just drag and drop from the bucket. I want the charge. I want this interest. I want this. You know what I mean? Pick what you want and then put it in your product and proof and publish, and there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, but still I have the concern with the second layer, the current account product group, because you mentioned it's a current account. So current account which have the specific category range, right?
No category. Don't compare with
current account should have the specific range category from maybe.
There's no range. There's no range. There's no category. There's nothing here. Think of it as like we are just putting like a logical grouping and keeping components, but we will not mention anything that can be used to identify a product in this group. It's just your own internal logical grouping to put the property classes that you want. That's it. You are just putting property classes in the group. Nothing else is there. Yeah, it will take some time. Don't worry. By next week, Thursday, it will be all right. Yeah, take it easy. It's coming. Even me, the first time I do this AA, it took a while to sink in, but it will come. Yeah, I'm going right now. This diagram, maybe it will make it a bit more clear. So AA is a component-based architecture. Essentially, we are using reusable business components which we give to the bank. You can access the business components from the property class. It will show you what are the business components in that particular product, like customer, schedule, account, tax, term amount. These are all business components, property class, given to you by Temenos. Now what you are doing is, or what you are trying to achieve basically is, you want to use those components to build different type of products. So you go here, you drag and drop what you need. I need customer, okay. I need schedule, I need charges, I need settlement. This is basically what we're doing. Okay, now, once you have put your component in your product, it doesn't end here. You are like, let's say, 80% there. You are 80% there. There's one more final piece of work that you need to do. Now, this final piece of work is in each of these components, okay, it's got like fields, the fields that are relevant to the component, like the interest component has got like rate type, right? Like fixed, floating, periodic, and so on. It's got then the actual rate. There's a field called rate type, rate, margin, and so on. It's related to interest. The charge component, it will also have some fields that are related to charges, like calculation type. Is it a percentage charge? Is it a flat charge? Is it banded? And so on. Can you see? Now, once I have put all my components in the product here, the final piece that I need to do is I need to attach values to the fields. So for this charge that I'm putting in this product, I want the charge type to be fixed, and I want the charge amount to be USD 100. That's what I'm doing. I want the category code to be 1104. That's what I'm doing here. Inside, so this account component, where is it? Here, this account component, one of the fields in there is category. But what you must remember is, okay, let me take it back. You will not mention the category here at all, only here and here. Because if I mention the category here, I am putting some kind of restriction in terms of what I can do here. I want to keep it open here so that I can do any type of product that I want. Any category. I want to pick, it's okay. Because remember now, I could have called this savings account. I could have called it whatever type of account, investment account. Can you see? So it means that here at this level here, T24 doesn't actually know what type of product is this. So there's no restriction to put whatever I want, as long as I have all the mandatory components. But the values, like the rate, what is the charge amount, you know, and so on, it can only be specified at this level here in the product, using product conditions.
So whenever I need to create a similar product group, I can do the inheritance from the existing product. So I can just copy and create the new product from existing.
Yes. So what's nice about this now here is, you see, this group here, right? The reason why you are grouping them as current accounts is because these products that you're creating underneath here, they've got something similar in nature, right? So they are all current accounts, but they are different type of current accounts. So what you do is, once I have that first current account created, like let's say personal current account, okay? For me to create this current account product, I can just copy and paste this and paste it here. And then all I'm doing is, inside this one, I am changing maybe the rate or the charge or the category or something, but the general structure of it, it's a current account. It's the same as the other one. So it's much more quicker to create that second one and the third one and the fourth one and so on. Just copy and paste, I go boom, and then I change. I swap out one or two components, I'm okay, I'm happy.
And the property class could be used only under the product, or it can be used also in the product group.
Yeah, so property class is here. Property class is here, right? Terminals
On there.
gives you which one are mandatory, which one are optional. Let's say 30, they are all here. In the product line, you can see. I showed it in Transact just now, T24. So when you create your group, what you are actually doing is saying out of the 30, which terminals give for accounts product line, I want to use 15 for this product group. That's it. Are we okay? Yeah. Then, okay, now, I don't know, I hope there's a few technical people on the call. You will understand this better, what I'm about to show you now. You will understand this better. So what we are doing is, in my product group, okay, this is a product group here. Okay, number one. Property class, you know already what it is. So anything mandatory, I pick from the product line, I must mention it here. I don't have a choice. However, this AA, it uses like object-oriented concept, okay, where we're creating like instances of the property class. Now, when I say instances, I mean this component here, technically, it's a copy of this component with a name that I have decided to use. If I wanted to, I could have made a copy and paste and call it also here account. Right now, the reason why it accepts the same name is this components here are sitting in a separate table. So there's a separate table where the property classes are kept. And there's a separate table where the named components, the properties are kept. It's a separate set of tables, which means because it's a separate set of table, I can call it account and account here. You see like what they've done here. This is accounting. Oh, what did I do? I have to go back. Sorry about that. I clicked on something. But we are getting there. It will take some time. I have to tell you. Just pace yourself. And if you can at all, don't try to compare this with LD. It will confuse you more. That is the problem. If you keep on doing that, it will not make sense. Let's forget about LD. LD is done. Yeah, we are moving away from LD. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So again, product group. We have our component. We have our named copy of the component. Right now, the whole reason why we allow you to make a named copy, you'll understand now. Temenos will give you one charge property class. So the component that does charges, it's just one. It's called charge. So I cannot just put the one in my current account because I might want 5 types of charges. So how do I do it now? If I need 5 different types of charges to collect on my current account, right? I need some way to put 5 charge components, but I cannot put the same component 5 times. So I'll keep one property class. One property class, this is a property class, but Temenos allows you to create named copies, named instances of that charge component. So the named copy is known as a property without the class, just a property. So this property, I can now put as many copies as I want. This is a charge, this is a charge, this is a charge, this is a charge. That's it. Okay. Now, the final piece of the puzzle, okay, just stay with me. So under here, if I go to current accounts, this is a group, okay, please, we're looking at groups here. This is a group. The next layer under the group is product. So where's the current account? Here. Go across, I'm sorry. This is a bit technical, so you might need to explain it once I'm done, because I can appreciate for the business users, it's not what you're used to, but anyway. So if I see, let's say for example, this one here, I'm just going to view to show you what is in a product. Yeah, I will try to simplify it. It will make sense. Don't worry. So in the product group, right, what you are seeing is, I want to go to this property conditions. Okay, now I'm going to break it down now for you. Temenos gives you product line. Product line has got reusable components called property class. In the product line, only property class is there from Temenos. Some is mandatory, some is optional. Are we okay with this point? Product line, only property class is in product line. So in other words, right, let's keep it. In product line, only reusable components, property class. That is all that is there. Why? To allow you as a bank to use those components to create your product groups and your product. Okay, so in your product group, right, what you have, product group, you will put all of the mandatory property class and some of the optional property class. This is what is happening in a product group. This is a product. What I'm currently showing you here, this is a product. It's not a product group. Okay, so let's back it up. Product line, product group is here. So product group, for example, if I look at accounts product, sorry, overdraft account product group, this is a product group. The only thing which is in this group is a property class, property class, property class. Some are mandatory, some are optional. Now, for each property class that you put in the group, you must have one named instance, at least one named instance. So property, you will create it, the bank will create, or you can use the ones which are coming with model bank. That's all, that is all that is in the product group. I want you to please take away, so far I haven't talked about any interest rate, any category code in the group. There is nothing like that. Only the component and the copy of the component, the property class and the property. That is all in the group. Next layer, we are going to product now. We want to see. So before I go to product, right, what I want to tell you is in the product, in the next layer, in the product, only the property can be used. I repeat, in the product, only the property can be used, not the property class. You do not have a property class in a product. Getting a bit confusing, yeah? But that's how it works. Okay.
Is there any way we can see the holistic view of one product from the beginning of, like I saw you have a lot of product in your screen, but we want to see the full holistic view, product line and property class and product group,
yeah, okay.
then product, yeah. So for us to see all in one screen, it's a lot.
It's not possible. It's not possible,
yeah,
because those are all different tables. You cannot show it in one screen. So in other words, maybe this will make it clear. This might make it clearer. Right. So what we're doing here, right, is the same thing I'm trying to explain to you now is just represented in a diagram. This product line is created by Temenos. It is made up of property class. That's all that's in the product line. We're okay, right? This is fine. Temenos will tell us which property class is mandatory, which one is optional. Clear. We're done. We've covered this. Next, product group. In the product group, you're going to put property class. Okay, they haven't got it here, but there's a property class coming in the product group. The important point is, when I use this property class in the product group, I must map it to a property. I must map it to a named copy of that property class. So they'll appear like side by side. Property class and the property class and the property. This is what is happening in the group. Now, these properties which are in the group, technically, it's a subset of these property classes, because remember, this is nothing but a copy of this. That's all it is. So it's actually a property class that I have renamed something else, because I want 5 charges. So I have to rename charge property class to negotiation fee, I don't know, transaction fee, whatever I want, 5 times. That's why I'm keeping it as a property, because the property class I cannot change. That component comes from Temenos. You keep it as it is. but the property, I can create as many as I want. Is that okay? So I can put them here in the group. Anything mandatory, I put it here. Anything optional, I can keep it in the group if I want or not, it's fine. It depends on the product I'm creating. Then, one more point, right, is any optional property class here, right? When I put it in the group with the property, so remember it's optional here. I put it in the group with a property. For OCB, for this group, charges might be mandatory. See, Temenos charges are optional. But at OCB, because I don't want to have this problem maybe with the revenue leakage and so on, when I put the charge property here, I make it mandatory. What that means is any product now that I create under this group, the charge is also mandatory. If I try to create a product without this charge, which I mentioned as mandatory here, error message will come. Are we good? Yeah. So this property class, it's a subset of these ones in the group. And then the product, the properties which I'm including here, these properties, it can be a subset of the property in the group. So in the group, I might have 15 property. Out of the 15, 10 mandatory, 5 optional property, okay? In this product, only the 10 mandatory ones I have to put. The other 5 property, I can leave it out. And then I can create another product, staff current account. And I put 10 mandatory property plus 2 optional ones. At this level here, I can use a subset of the properties which are in the group under which this product has been created. So this group, current accounts product group. Under current accounts product group, personal account product. Okay, current account product group, 15 properties. Personal account, personal current account, 10 properties. Staff current account, 12 properties. Are we clear now? Is it coming maybe a bit more? Yeah, I don't have a slide, unfortunately, that has it. Because there's a lot going on. Yeah, is it okay?
Yeah, please hang on. Let me clarify internally.
Yeah. Please.
They understand the holistic view of it.
Oh, it's good. Ah, fine. Let's move on.
I'm trying to check internally, Matt. Hold on a second.
Sorry. I thought you were talking to me.
Cái phần kiểm tra là phần của Temenos sẽ là khai báo sẵn cho mình có product line là cái dòng sản phẩm, rồi hỏi khai báo những thuộc tính property class của dòng sản phẩm đó và cái property class attribute. Còn phần bên dưới là phần mà mình có thể là sử dụng và khai báo được là product group. Product group, vậy bên dưới product group có product thì trong cái mỗi product group thì mình có thể khai báo những cái property. Thì ví dụ như là cái dòng sản phẩm là gồm có tài khoản là tiền vay, thì xuống dưới product group là của khoản là thì có tài khoản điện tử thanh toán, tài khoản tiết kiệm, tài khoản thu chi, tài khoản cán bộ nhân viên gì đó. Thì trong những cái product group, trong những cái product này mình sẽ có nhiều cái property, ví dụ như là khách hàng mình có thể khai báo là khách hàng cá nhân, khách hàng doanh nghiệp, hay là độ tuổi, hay là cái quốc tịch, rồi lãi suất, số dư. Đó là những cái property, thì mình sử dụng cái nào thì mình có thể là sử dụng kéo thả những cái mà có sẵn của Temenos đã khai báo ở trên cái property class, hoặc là có thể là khai báo thêm chỉnh sửa gì đó. Thì mỗi một cái property nó có những cái giá trị khác nhau, thì gọi là cái product edition đó, mình khai báo những cái trị khác nhau đó. Thì lãi suất thì 1.5, phí thì có thể là đọc phí khác nhau, khai báo trong cái product edition. Rồi mọi người có hiểu cái này nó có gì không?
You can try to compare with OCB existing product. Maybe you can ask some question. How to be utilize.
Ví dụ như trong tài khoản của mình hiện giờ mình có product group là tài khoản tiền gửi thanh toán, dưới nó product hiện giờ mình có tài khoản như tài khoản tiền gửi thanh toán của tài khoản thông minh, gói chuẩn là gói vàng đó, rồi CB thì có smart account thì đó là những cái sản phẩm. Trong những cái này á, cái sản phẩm này thì nó khác nhau, những cái property về lãi suất, về cái đối tượng khách hàng, rồi về những cái điều kiện về cơ số tính lãi, về những cái kỳ tích dưới, đó là những cái property. Thì là Temenos họ sẽ khai báo những cái dòng sản phẩm và những cái tính năng chuẩn có sẵn mà mình có thể là thừa hưởng lại. Khi mà mình khai báo một cái sản phẩm mình có thể thừa hưởng lại cái đó, và mình chỉ điều chỉnh những cái giá trị nó khác biệt thôi.
We continue on any questions.
So
far.
Đóng tiền gửi khó thắc mắc không? Không, nhưng mà có hiểu không? Nó là như nhau, nó chỉ là property class, là những cái chuẩn mà Temenos khai báo sẵn thôi, mình không thay đổi được. Khi mà mình khai báo cái product group hoặc cái product thì nó có cái property, lúc đó mình mới là sửa được cái phần dưới đó là mình điều chỉnh được, còn những cái có sẵn của nó là cái là sửa được. Đúng rồi, cái nào bắt buộc là khai báo đủ. Đúng rồi, bắt buộc phải có là khai báo. Okay, clear.
I go.
Awesome. Example, this one is account. This is account line, the base one, accounting module, account module. Yeah. Just assume. And here, Temenos will have the inbuilt property class. Let's assume the charge, income charge. Yeah, in here. Yeah, we can copy and paste, modify some condition. Then we can create a, yeah, based on your each product, and the same product can be utilized for other product line as well. So that, so that's why. Yeah. Yeah, pick up and utilize. We have the link for each table. So it's a final product, and before final product, it's like the layer, and from this one you can inherit, but not meaning you have to inherit for. It's up to you. Maybe 5 or 10. You can use it for your product. Example, this one have a 10 condition example. When you copy, you can copy all, but use only 5 condition to create the final product. Yeah. You can remove it. Example. The similar way with the property club. They have a charge, interest, and passbook, whatever. If you want, you can enable. If you doesn't want, just remove it. Yeah, it's up to you. Depend on your what kind of product OCP want to utilize and give for the customer. Yeah, this is the important one to know the important the layer. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Matt. Please go ahead.
Okay. We'll take a break just now, but let me just continue. Now, the piece which is giving this product the actual features, you know. It's actually it's made up of two items. There is the property, which is the component, right, coming from the property class. So like interest, charge, account, customer, limit, etc. These are copies of that, the property. Now, for each of these property classes, when Temenos has defined them, the property classes have got like attributes or fields. So each property class has got fields that are related to that property class. Like interest has got like interest type, interest rate, interest margin, capitalization frequency, etc. There's all those fields. Charge also have fields that are specific to charge, like charge type. Is it fixed, flat, right? Charge amount, charge currency. Can you see? Now what we are doing is, for each property that you put in a product, for each property that you put in a product, you must attach a valid product condition. Now, a product condition is what gives the values to the fields of the property class. So like for staff current account, I've got something called, let's say, credit interest. So on credit interest, in the product condition here, this is where I'll mention, I want the rate to be 15%, floating or fixed or whatever with this type of margin. This product condition can be reused in other products also. This way it becomes a bit, it's done like this to make it more flexible, because I can have one type of product here, right, where I use interest, but for this interest property, I want a specific type of calculation, like fixed or floating or flat. Then I have another product like staff current account. Same interest property, but I want a different product condition, because I want, okay, so let's take, for instance, let's go here. Okay. So product, let's call it staff current account. Right. Now in this staff current account, and I also have here, let's move along, and I also have here current account. Right, now what I'm doing is, for this product, I'm having like a property called, let's say, interest. This is a property. Now this property called interest, right, I have it here and here. The same property I can use here and here, interest. However, in this staff current account, the product condition, I'll call it, let's say, fixed rate, let's say 1, for instance. But in the current account, the product condition that I'll use, I'll call it floating int 1. Okay, now, technically what is happening is, this is a separate record that I created somewhere in another table for product conditions, and this is also a separate record. Now, if I wanted to, and I came up with a third product here, let's call it corporate current account. Okay, I can have the same interest property. Now, when I'm putting the product condition for this interest, right, for this one, I have a choice. I can take this product condition, or I can take this product condition, because they are just records sitting somewhere in a table, and I can put it here, or I can create a brand new one here. So I'll call it like floating 2, for instance, floating 2, sorry. I'm running out of space. So it is this type of capability that makes it very flexible to differentiate from one product to another. Because you must remember, besides this interest, I also have charges, right? I have got tax. I have got, I don't know, term amount. No, not term amount. I've got limit. So I can put any type of product conditions that I want for each of these. For this product different, for this product different, for this product different. But I can use the same property or a different property. It's up to me how I want to actually do that. Come again? Is that for me? Yeah. It's not easy to see right now. Okay, let's do one thing. Can we take a break?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Let me ask them again. Can we take a quick break for 10 to 15 minutes?
Yeah.
10 minutes. Is it 10 minutes? Is okay for you?
Yeah, 10 minutes is okay for me. The break is more for you because a lot of information is coming, right? They need some time to process it and then come back and then again I'll try. Otherwise, we will not get anywhere.
Or if you want to continue.
It's a new concept, yeah. We have to take it slow and absorb the information gradually.
Mình nghĩ 15-10 phút em nghe.
Yeah, maybe a 10 minutes break is okay from our side.